The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Hey, we finally reached opening week of the real season. How are you? My name is Ron Juckett. Welcome to the program for the 29th day of March 2023, and Interleague continues in 2001 in Action PC Odyssey. We're now over the 60-game mark for some of these teams as we play the games of Wednesday, June 13th, 2001. And we get to feature Comiskey Park and the Red Hot White Sox, who are in first place. They will face the Cincinnati Reds, who were in a better position when I scheduled this game. But I want to give the White Sox some love because they are hanging in there and hanging in there and hanging in there. And they get to go with Mark Burley today versus Rob Bell for Cincinnati, who may not know he's making his last start of the year for the Reds, but he goes nonetheless for that. So it's the White Sox and the Reds next as we start our week right here on Retro Sports Network. As Retro Sports Network presents 2001, an Action PC Season Odyssey. Today, from Comiskey Park on the south side of Chicago, Illinois, it will be the Chicago White Sox and the Cincinnati Reds. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. Beautiful night here in Chicago. 80 degrees, winds blowing out to left, clear skies, just exactly what you'd want. It'll be Mark Burley, who was 5-3 on the replay with a high 3.75 ERA. The lefty gets the call for the White Sox, making his 12th start of the year, and his hither stare look into the camera. He is thrown 5-3 and 3.75 earned run average. Just 22 years old in 2001. Cutter is his specialty pitch. The fastball is at 85 and is a fly ball pitcher. His last start came against the Royals almost a full week ago. 6 days rest, 2-0 win over Kansas City. 7 innings of shutout baseball, 112 pitches. 3 hits, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. So 74 1/3 for Mark on the replay, 66 hits, 37 runs, 31 earned. He's allowed 6 homers. He's walked 14 while striking out 42. And the lineup he'll face, it'll be Brady Clark in left field for the Reds today. Tribe fan, how are you? Michael Tucker in right will bat second. Alex Ochoa gets the call as the DH. Sean Casey at first cleans up. Dimitri Young at third will bat fifth. Ruben Rivera in center field will go sixth. Kelly Stinnett behind the plate will bat seventh. Pokey Reese at second going eighth. And Castro at second batting ninth. Bell with about 95 pitches. Bernie, I'm doing well. How about yourself? Happy opening day eve for sure. Defensively for the White Sox, Carlos Lee is a 6 and a 6 at left. Chris Singleton is 7 and a 6 in center. Maggie Ordonez a 4 and a 9 in right. Eric Creed, I think it's Joe, is a 6 at third. Clayton an 8 at short. Ray Durham a 7 at second. Leifer, how you doing, Mr. Howard, is a 2 at first. Sandy Alomar Jr. a 3 and a 2. Creedy, okay. Sandy Alomar is a 3 and a 2 behind the plate, and Burley is an 8 on the mound with a .952 fielding percentage. Clark at 385, no homers, and an RBI in limited duty. So the Reds playing some DH games. They are 29 and 33. This is game 63 for them. The White Sox playing game 61. Burley starts. Ground ball right back to Mark, over to Leifer, 1 out. So that brings up Michael Tucker, the only left. No, there's 2 lefties in the lineup for Cincinnati. Tucker at 246, 5 homers, and 13 RBI. You look at that batting average 0-56 for this at-bat. Watch him homer. Pitch to Tucker. Fly ball right field. I was kidding about that. Ordonez makes the catch. 2 out. Brings up Alex Ochoa at 305, 8 homers, and 36 RBI. Burley winds and deals, and Ochoa draws a 2-out walk. For the Bears, Sean Casey at 344, 4 homers and 39 RBI. Burley kicks and fires. Casey, is it actually a stolen base attempt? Yes. Ochoa went and steals it. They threw down to Clayton and couldn't get Ochoa. That's his 8th. I'm not sure I've ever done a game from this stadium before. If I have, I don't remember. So a 1-strike count to Casey. Burley's pitch. Ground ball to first. Leifer will get to the bag himself and retire the side. Reds leave a runner on. No runs, no hits, no errors. Half an inning down, no score. So Rob Bell, making his last start with the Reds. He's done as of June 15th. He's lost his last 3 decisions. He's only 24. Change-up pitcher. That fastball tops out at 88. He's a fly ball pitcher. He's 2-3 with a 4.73 earned run average. His last start was 5 days ago against Cleveland in Cincinnati. In a 4-3 loss, he went 5 innings, 84 pitches, 5 hits, 1 run it was earned. He walked 2 and struck out 3, so no decision. 40 innings overall, 40 hits, 22 runs, 21 earned, 6 homers. He's walked 18 and struck out 28. So Ray Durham will lead off for the White Sox at second base. Chris Singleton in center will bat second. Lee in left goes third. Ordonez cleans up in right. Konerko is the DH for Chicago. He'll bat fifth. Leifer at first will bat sixth. Alomar Jr. behind the plate seventh. Creedy is at third. He'll bat eighth. And Clayton at short will bat ninth. Burley through 15 pitches. Defensively for the Reds, Brady Clark a 6 and a 4 in left. Ruben Rivera a 7 and a 4 in center. Tucker is a 6 and a 6 in right. Dimitri Young, not good. He's a 3 with an 890 fielding percentage. Bokey Reese at 8 with a 972. Castro is a 3 at second. And the mayor, Mr. Casey's a 6 at first. Royce Clayton played Miguel Tejada in the Moneyball movie. Interesting. Kelly Sinnett behind the plate is a 4 and a 2. And Bell is a 5 with a 1,000 fielding percentage. Durham at 290, 10 homers and 33 RBI. Bell starts his night by plunking Durham. So that'll bring up Chris Singleton. Chris at 313, 4 homers and 18 RBI. Chopper to third, might be 2. Young goes to Castro for 1, over to Casey, and they turn it. They go around the horn, 2 out for Carlos Lee. At 283, 10 homers, and 34 RBI. Got him, and that will retire the side. He swung on and missed something out of the zone, and that'll do it. No runs, no hits. The double play is his best friend. No errors. After 1, no score. So Young, Rivera, and Stinnett to face Burley here in the second. Dimitri at 321, 8 homers and 30 RBI. Burley starts the second. Young chops this one to Royce Clayton deep in the hole. Long throw to first, but Young is not blessed with Carl Lewis speed, and that's an out. So that'll bring up Ruben Rivera. Ruben at 228, 3 homers and 17 RBI. Into left, Lee into the alley makes the catch. 2 out. First to net, Kelly at 252, 3 homers and 15 RBI. This picture obviously is pre-renovation new Comiskey, before they finally put in black seats and all that. To me, this place always reminded me of what Yankee Stadium could have looked like. How you doing, John? The blue seats. My uncle had seats in the upper deck for, I think, one of the first years it opened, 91 or 92. He said they were nosebleeds. They were steep. But yeah, and of course, this was designed and built before the retro ballpark craze and all that. But yeah, this reminded me of what a 90s Yankee Stadium would look like. Pitch to Sinet. Got him! Or he gone. Swung on and missed for strike 3, and that'll do it. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the second here in Chicago, no score. So Ordonez, Konerko, and Leifer to face Bell. Maglio at 353, 11 homers, and 44 RBI. Bell starts the second, struck him out. 2-2 changeup in at the knees for strike 3. That brings up Konerko at 285. Paul has 9 homers and 45 RBI, and I can see the voodoo dolls working all the way from Ohio. Chopper to third. Young over to first. Casey's there for the out. 2 out for Leifer. Jeff at 221. 3 homers, 15 RBI. Pretty fair park, John says. But although old Comiskey had big dimensions, the ball carried well. Can only imagine what Frank Thomas would have done there. It was not a home run hitter's park, and they built teams for that park, pitching, speed, and defense. Pitch to Leifer. There's a line drive to right. Tucker makes the catch. How you doing, Big Dave? No runs, no hits, and no errors. We go to third, and there is no score. So Reese, Castro, and Clark to face Burley. Pokey at 249, 2 homers, and 13 RBI. Pokey pokes this one into right, and that's the first hit for anybody. So Pokey on first for Juan Castro. 239, no homers, and 6 RBI. So if you guys were to place a World Series bet right now, on the day before the season starts, who would you go with? Castro up the middle for a base hit. Singleton will pick it up in center. Reese has good speed, going to go to third. So first and third, nobody out for Brady Clark, who is 0 for 1. Burley's opening 9, 33 pitches, 2+ hits. 2+ innings, 2 hits, a walk, and a strikeout. Mr. Howard is going with the Mighty Ducks. Big Dave says the Blue Jays and the Braves. Bernie says San Diego until they prove they can't win. Pitch to Clark. And that's a balk! Oh, I don't know who's more upset, Burley or Ken Harrelson in the booth next to me. A balk on a 1-2, and it's 1-0 Cincinnati. Wow. So Burley takes a moment to compose himself, and the Reds get on the board. Pitch to Clark. Ball 4. So Burley has the ball snapped back in his glove. I've not seen my pick taking that by anybody. Tucker is 0 for 1. So first and second, nobody out. Reds have a run in on a balk. Pitch to Tucker. And Burley is all out of sorts. So Tucker took a 3-1 breaking ball outside. Third walk for Mart. Nobody out still for Ochoa, who walked and stole a base his first time up. Burley can't get regular again. They're going to have to give him some milk of mag. John says the Astros Ground ball might be 2. Durham takes it to the bag himself for 1, and there is no throw to first. So 2-0 Cincinnati, 1 out as the run scores. That was Castro. So Clark on third, Ochoa on first for Casey, who was 0 for 1. One out. Casey in the shallow right center. Singleton coming in really hard, makes the catch. Clark goes back to tag and will hold. 2 out for Dimitri Young, who was 0 for 1. Astros, I think, have a pretty good chance. I'm not sold on Toronto. I'm honestly surprised it didn't pop up here. Braves always play hard. Pitch to Young was 0 for 1. Struck him out. Burley got him, and that'll do it. But the Reds get that run on a balk, and then Burley kind of lost his head for a moment. 2 runs on 2 hits and no errors. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning here. It's the Reds 2, the White Sox nothing. So it'll be Alomar Jr. to lead things off. 247, 4 homers, and 22 RBI. Ground ball to Reese, deep in the hole, over to Casey. 1 out. I think even with Mr. Harper gone for half the season, I think the Phillies win it all this year. Here's Creedy, 0 for 4. Didn't get a lot of playing time for the White Sox. Only had 50 real-life at-bats. Droops this one in the hole on the left side, and that's the first hit for Chicago. And then I'll bring up Royce Clayton, 236, 2 homers, and 19 RBI. So what's Clayton going to do here? We'll see what Bell does. He throws to first. Creedy back. Hit and run is on. Runner goes. That's into left center field for a base hit. Rivera will pick it up. Creedy will go to third. And the Chi Sox have first and third and nobody out here in the 3rd. Here's Ray Durham. Durham reached his first time up. Got hit by a pitch. Bell opening 9, 36 pitches, 2 1/3, 2 hits and 2 strikeouts. Thank you, Elvis. The Milwaukee Braves represent. Just a short trip down, 90, to get to Comiskey. Pitch to Durham. Popped up, left side, Reese. On the grass for the out, 2 away. So here's Singleton. Grounded into a double play. He's 0 for 1. I think it's safe to say the Red Sox will not be in the World Series this year. Pitch to Singleton. Ground ball, base hit right side. Gets down in the corner. Tucker has to go find it. Creedy scores. Clayton will round third. He's probably going to get waved around. He will. Singleton will dig for third. Castro cuts it, throws it to Young. It's going to be close over there. And Singleton's in with a triple. His 4th of the year, and we're tied at 2. So a 2-2 ball game on the 2-run triple by Singleton. That brings up Carlos Lee. He struck out his first time up. Line drive to left. Clark has it, and that will do it. Remember 2018, they said the same thing. I think it's more likely that Chris Sale gets 30 starts. When the Braves left Milwaukee, the White Sox did play some games up at County Stadium. I think one year they played 20 up in Milwaukee. Here's Ruben Rivera. He's 0 for 1. I saw a newspaper clipping the other day that talked about Milwaukee getting an AFL franchise in the 60s. I wonder how that would have gone. Got him. A 1-2 cutter swung on and missed for strike 3. Both the teams I root for are not going to have good years. Kelly Sinnett is 0 for 1. He struck out. In the right, Ordonez has it go foul, and somebody from Waukegan makes that catch. Ball and 2 strikes to Sinnett. And Kelly draws the walk. What I don't remember as a kid was the Milwaukee Hawks before they moved to St. Louis. I have no idea what year that was. I knew that they were there. The NBA used to be pretty much a Midwestern league. The Pistons played in Fort Wayne. There was teams in Rochester and Syracuse. Pokey singled and scored in the third. Pitch from Burley. In the right center field and way back there, Ordonez will turn and watch it go. Oh my goodness, he put it up in the concourse. That was a pick and a poke over the dugout. And for Pokey, that's his third of the year, and it's 4-2. Wow. So Pokey doesn't usually have a lot of power. The guy from Willy Wonka who checked people out is there with a cup for Pokey to relieve himself in. What a Pokey. Ha 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 ha. That was funny. Early 50s for the Hawks. When they made the NBA Finals, they were in St. Louis. Speaking of Milwaukee, Mr. Howard is still doing a 69 pilot replay. I'm assuming using OTP 24, and they're 0-6. So 4-2 now, 1 out, top the 4th. Here's Juan Castro, who singled and scored. That's in the shallow left center. Singleton coming in, makes the catch. 2 out for Clark. So Burley opening 18, 70 pitches, 3 2/3. 3 hits, 4 runs, all earned, including the poke by Pokey. Did he do the hokey to go with it? Burley, uncharacteristically wild. He has walked 4 while striking out 3. Clark, 0 for 1 with a walk. And he'll walk Clark again. So Burley, ERA is now over 4. Here's Tucker. Michael is 0 for 1 with a walk. Ground ball to Royce Clayton over to first, and Tucker is out on a bang-banger. The Reds get 2 on a 2-run homer by Pokey Reese on the 1 hit, no errors. 3.5 in the books, 4-2 Reds. So here are the standings now. The Braves and the Mets are tied for first. Florida 1 back. Philly 5 back. In the Central, Houston, where's Mark? Is 3 up on the Cardinals. Or Matt. I get it wrong. Steeler fan. Milwaukee 4 back. Cincinnati 4.5. In the West, San Francisco is 5.5 up on Colorado. Mr. Howard will unsub to the channel now. The Dodgers are 8 back. Arizona is above 500. 6 is not an impossible margin. The Yankees a 3-game lead over the Red Sox in the East. Chicago a 1.5 over Cleveland. And Seattle has a 9-game lead over Oakland. So right now, the wild cards would be Cleveland and the Mets. And speaking of the Reds, Ken Griffey Jr., when is that contract up? The 4th highest paid player on the payroll in 2023. He was the hitting coach for Team USA at the recent World Baseball Classic. Ordonez 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And Griffey put on such a show in batting practice. There's a great shot of Mike Trout with just his mouth wide open. Maggie in the left center field. Rivera has it for the out. Speaking of walks, I played a rapid Robert Feller the other day, Elvis says, in a 1947 replay in a complete game while walking 10 on over 150 pitches. Nolan Ryan says, hold my beer. Lou Boudreau would have smoked a couple packs of cigs, but he was playing short. That's what that red man was for, you know. Canerco's 0 for 1. Ground ball. Reese almost in on the grass. Snap throw to Casey. Canerco is in there. On the bang bang. A beach nut. Okay. Same difference. Leifer is 0 for 1. Canerco, not blessed with Herculean speed. Reaches on the infield hit. Ground ball left side. Clark will pick it up. So first and second for the White Sox. They trail 4-2. 1 out here in the fourth. Jamie, 32 months. He only likes interleague play when two teams are from the same area. Yep. We all get it this year. For the first time ever, everybody plays everybody. Alomar is 0 for 1. Runners on first and second. Bell, ground ball to Reese. Might be 2. Castro for 1. Casey for 2. Closing in on 3 straight years. My goodness. Jamie, by the way, is on a 6-month streak. Thank you, my friend. Here's Ochoa. Goes 0 for 1 as an RBI, a stolen base, and a walk. We go to the 5th after that double play. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors. It's the Reds 4, the White Sox 2. So Ochoa, Casey, and Young. Drops one down. Creedy on the dirt over to Durham, and Ochoa is out. For Sean Casey, 0 for 2. Ground ball to third. Creedy over to Leifer. Here's Young. Dimitri's 0 for 2 with the strikeout. When I asked about your World Series picks, I'm surprised nobody said the Yankees. Ground ball to Leifer. Takes it to the bag himself, and we're halfway home on a Wednesday. On a 39-degree sunny day here in the great Northeast. No runs, no hits, no errors. It's the Reds 4, the White Sox 2. If you joined us late, here's how we got here. In the third, Cincinnati got 2 runs, sent 7 on the plate. Pokey re-scored on a balk by Mark Burley to make it 1-0, and then Burley just couldn't find the strike zone. Alex Ochoa hit a fielder's choice to make it 2-0. White Sox tied it almost immediately. A 2-run triple by Chris Singleton made it 2-2. And in the fourth, Pokey Reese, unexpected power, his third of the year, a 2-run homer way back there to make it 4-2 Cincinnati. So 4 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Reds, 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the White Sox. Bell, 5-hitter through 4, had 2 strikeouts. Burley, 3-hitter through 5, but he's given up all 4 earned runs. Yeah, thanks, Matt. Talking about, we had a good live stream the other night talking about hockey bones. And I knew Greg Sovon was sick. Creedy 1 for 1 with a run scored. I didn't realize he was that ill. I had talked with him years ago about getting ball holla. Struck him out. A 1-2 changeup swung on and missed. That'll bring up Clayton 1-for-1 with a run scored. So someone else made the roster card things for rosters for 2022, and we got the email after we found out that Greg passed that game will continue along with Fall Classic and Play Ball available through ASG Games. But so young, 68 is just not that old. A week short of his 69th birthday. Pitch to Clayton. There's a ground ball to Bell over to Casey for the out. You know, I hope at some point when Greg had the chance to reflect about what he had done. Apparently he was quite an avid golfer, and along with an APA player for a long time. Here's Durham. Ray is 0-for-1. He was always looking to make the perfect baseball game, and of course it just doesn't exist. Even everyone likes different things on their pizza. We joke about that. Pitch to Durham. There's a fly ball right center field that's going to drop for a hit. Rivera will cut it off. So the 6th hit for the White Sox. Here's Singleton. Chris had that 2-run triple, by the way, in the 3rd. Now his 20 RBI. Greg was never really satisfied with what he produced for games. And he always had a very interesting twist on what he felt should be components for a game. I thought Valhalla was fantastic. I love roster card as well. I hope that he realized just how much he meant to the community, those of us who might have emailed him but really didn't know him. And I regret that we didn't have him on the show, because his take on game making and what to do to make something playable was right on. When you look at Fall Classic, let's pitch to Singleton. I'll throw over to first, and Durham is back. To have pitchers who had variable starting letters, so you roll for that. He either had his stuff, was his regular self, or didn't have much of anything. That type of ingenuity and creativity is tremendous, and I'm glad that he came up with it. 2-out pitch to Singleton. Struck him out, and that'll do it. No runs, a hit, and 1, and no errors. We go to the 6th here at Comiskey, 4-2. Bleacher Bums Gaming did a nice tribute video on YouTube for Greg, and I encourage, if you haven't gone to see it, that you do. It'll be Rivera, Sinet, and Reese here in the 6th for the Reds. Ruben is 0-for-2 with a strikeout. Burley gives me the fatigue warning. Gets away from Alomar on strike 3, but the throw down to first is in time. 1 out for Sinet. Kelly is 0-for-1. He has walked and struck out. 2 new followers, by the way, on the channel. Varanello and Ilka Kupfi. So thanks very much for the follow, guys. Greatly appreciated. Pitch to Stinnett. Struck him out. That's 5 for Burley. And we got a good morning and a good afternoon. So 1-2 cutter looked at for strike 3, and that'll bring up Pokey Reese. Pokey has singled, homered, driven in 2, and scored twice. Well, say hi to Bernie, Matt, because he's watching. It would have been wonderful to do. Apparently Greg had been sick for quite a while. We will get more and more guests, for sure. Yeah, it's Byrne. Mr. Strom. Reese hits a ground ball to Royce Clayton on the grass, and that's a late throw over to first, and Pokey's on. Bernie's 1950 replay starts April 18th, by the way, on his YouTube channel. Juan Castro, 1 for 2. Juan's got a single, a run scored. Throw to first, and Reese is back. So 2 out, runner on first. Castro at the plate. Burley's pitch, ground ball to Clayton. That'll do it. Over to Durham, and that will be the 3rd out. Bernie, answer the question, buddy. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors. We go to the bottom of the 6th here. At Comiskey, it's the Reds 4, the White Sox 2. Excuse me. So 4-2 the score. Lee, Ordonez, and Canerco to face Rob Bell, making his last start of 2001. Lee is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Ground ball to Reese. Pokey in the hole. Does the hokey, spins around, throws to Casey. And who's hurt? Is it Lee? Lee is grabbing his hammy, but he'll walk it off. And there's 1 out. So here's Ordonez. Mags is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. That's in the shallow left center. Rivera coming in, makes the catch for the 2nd out. Yeah, Bernie's here, so there's Canerco. Paul is 1 for 2. I'm telling you, Elvis, you're going to love it. The new Digital Diamond 11 coming out tomorrow, Status Pro included. What projects have you got to do with that? Bernie says, not too often I think of myself as an older gentleman. That said, you'll be 72 on April 7th. My mom will be 71 in June, Bernie. So, pitch to Canerco. Paul draws the walk. And that'll do it for Bell. And I don't know what happened to Rob Bell after, but that'll be it for him. I really enjoyed Status Pro. Scott Sullivan coming in to pitch for the Reds. 2 out in the 6th, making his 33rd appearance. 1 and 2, 2 saves, an earned run average of .383. Scott is 30, fastball at 90, and a fly ball pitcher. Faced the White Sox last night, went an inning and a third. Scotty, you only have a few more days. I'm sure you'll make it to 71. Just don't take any candy from Bill Walton, okay? Inning and a third, 27 pitches, no decision, 2 hits, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. 40 innings, 49 hits, 17 runs, all earned. 3 homers. He's walked 9 while striking out 38. It'll be Leifer, Alomar Jr., and Creedy. John watched the new Digital Diamond video for Mark last night. Looks great. Interface is nice, and contrary to what I heard, yes, they are. You'll be able to fully play the game in the help file. Long ball was the first game Jamie ever played. It was one of those, one with the team sheets, not the cards. Here's the pitch to Leifer, who's 1 for 2. Gets away from Stinnett, and Canerco goes to second. So I've been playing some Status Pro with the beta version of Digital Diamond. And it just flows really, really well. The 2-0 count. Fly ball right field. Tucker will make the catch for the out, and that'll do it. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the 7th here in Chicago. It's 4-2 Reds. Brady Clark Michael Tucker and Ochoa. Clark is 0 for 1. Burley trying to get through the 7th. Clark is into right field. Back goes Ordonez. Someone forgot to read the first 27 batters. So after 28 batters, Burley had 108 pitches, 6 1/3, 4 hits. A home run allowed. That was Pokey Reese. He's walked 5, which is very unusual, and struck out 5. Here's Tucker, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. Status Pro just seems very late 70s. They introduced quite a few things in that game. Ground ball to Creedy. Joe picks it up. Over to Leifer. Tucker is retired. So a lot of fielding checks in that game. My goodness. Ochoa is 0 for 2. He has walked and driven in a run. Ground ball to Leifer to the bag, and that will retire the side. Stretch time, 4-2 Reds. Have a good one, Matt. Never played the football. Hockey, you put the shots come from different zones. And above the rim, basketball is a takeoff of Status Pro. Base 10 as opposed to base 8. Alomar is 0 for 2. Is grounded into a double play. Sullivan's pitch. In the right field, back goes Tucker. And that is caught. 1 out. Bernie not only doing a 50 replay on YouTube using PC Replay, I think, but we'll also be playing 67, 75, 86, 22, along with 23, all for the Red Sox. Here's Joe Creedy, 1 for 2. He has singled, scored, and struck out. And Creedy draws the walk. First walk given up by Sullivan, 1 out for Clayton. Royce is 1 for 2. Single and scored. 4 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Reds. They have left on 5. White Sox 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors, and they've left on 4. Clayton, ground ball right side for a base hit. Creedy will hold at second. So first and second, 1 out for Ray Durham, who was 1 for 2, a single, and was hit by a pitch. So the White Sox trying to tie this puppy up. Might be 2 here. Reese goes to first, and Durham is out. 2 out. Clayton just too fast, charging down the line, and Pokey's only play was to first. So Chris Singleton, who has a 2-run triple on his dance card, 1 for 3. 2 out. 4-2 Reds, bottom of the 7th. Singleton to left. Clark makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. The White Sox leave on 2. We go to the 8th, 4-2 Cincinnati. So Casey, Young, and Rivera to face Burley here in the 8th. Sean is 0 for 3. 2 things left on Bernie's bucket list: a hole-in-one and win a World Series with a Red Sox team that almost made it. I would think, if you're looking at 67, 75, and 86, that on paper, the easiest one would be 67. Now, Bernie's going to have Ted Williams not get hurt, so he'll be there all year. And that's assuming that Philadelphia would get past Brooklyn. But of the real Red Sox World Series close calls, including 46, I think 67 would be the easiest road to hoe. Pitch to Casey. There's a fly ball left field. Back goes Lee. And Carlos makes the catch, 1 out here in the top of the 8th. Here's Dimitri Young. Dimitri 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Little looper in the left. Lee makes the catch. So Burley, I don't think he'll get the complete game, but he's going to go, looks like he's going to get 8. Here's Rivera. Ruben 0 for 3. He has struck out twice. And Rivera draws the walk. 6 walk for Burley. That brings up Stinnett. Kelly is 0 for 2. He has struck out twice with a walk. I'm talking about once you get in the World Series. I mean, yes, it was in 67 the Red Sox, Tigers, White Sox, and Twins. The White Sox could actually hit there. But, yeah, it was a 4-team race. But good luck beating the 75 Reds and the 86 Mets. Bernie lost last year in 7 using Baseball Mogul 22 with the 86 Red Sox. We did a game with the Red Sox playing the Astros from that year, and Houston won too. Pitch to Stinnett. Kelly swings. Ground ball to Creedy. Joe goes to Durham for the out, and that will retire the side. Chris Nichting coming in to pitch for Cincinnati. Bottom of the 8th. Still 4-2 Reds. Donnie Sadler will come in to play second, replacing Castro. Sadler is a 7 at second. Nichting, not a great fielder. 8th appearance, no record, a 6.75 ERA, 35 years old. Fastball at 89 and a standard pitcher. Last pitched last night against the White Sox, 2/3 of an inning and a 4-3 loss, 9 pitches, and struck out both the men he faced. 5 1/3 overall for Chris. 8 hits, 4 runs, all earned, a homer, a walk, and 7 strikeouts. Tribe fan is not going to beat himself up to try to get the Indians to beat the Cubs in 16. How close did you get? Winning it all is supposed to be tough. Very frustrating and difficult to win a World Series. Cubs in 6. Okay. Both in real life and replays. Carlos Lee is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Ground ball to Sadler. 1 out. Cubs were up 3-0 and you forced a game 6. Wow. I think if you were to try to get a team in as a second chance to get into a World Series that hadn't won a pennant, I think the 49 Red Sox and 78 Red Sox would be your two best candidates. Ordonez 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Nichting delivers. Ground ball to Sadler, second verse, same as the first, 2 out. Here's Konerko, Paulie 1 for 2. He is singled and struck out. Chopper to short, Pokey deep in the hole, throws to Casey, and that will retire the side. So the White Sox go in order. That'll do it for Burley, by the way, too. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the 9th, 4-2 Cincinnati. So it'll be Josh Fogg. Fogg 1-1, oof, with a 7.62 ERA. Supposed to be an ERA close to 2. Josh is 24 years old. Cutter, fastball at 93, and a fly ball pitcher. Making his 13th appearance, pitched a week ago against the Royals and an 8-6 loss. Did not take the decision. Inning and a third, 36 pitches, 3 hits, 2 runs. 1 earned and a walk. So overall, 13 innings, 17 hits, 12 runs, 11 earned. He has walked 4 while striking out 23. Jamie says he and his brother ran a series with the 69 Mets against Boston, Detroit, Washington, and the Yankees. They lost all the series except the Yankees. Pesky Pole sneaking in here to catch the ending. Brought his daughter with him to distract the usher. Yep, the Red Sox choked in 49. They did not do well in my replay of 49, by the way. Pokey Reese is 3 for 3. He has singled twice, homered, and driven in 2. Fogg starts the ninth. A ground ball to Creedy. Long throw across the way. 1 out. For Donnie Sadler at 163, 2 homers and 7 RBI. Leifer, Alomar Jr., and Creedy scheduled up for the White Sox in the bottom of the ninth. Got him! 2-2 changeup swung on and missed. Yep, Pokey Reese, the pride of Columbia, South Carolina. So 2 out for Brady Clark, who is 0 for 2, is walked twice. Pitch from Fogg. Into left field, Carlos Lee going back will make the catch to retire the side. Danny Graves trying to close this out for the Reds. Danny looking like 5th grade school picture day there, doesn't he? No, Danny, you can't wear your Reds hat to picture day. 27th appearance on the replay, 1-4. 17 saves. He's converted 17 of 19, by the way. A 2.63 earned run average. 17 saves is good for 5th in the majors. 27 years old. Fastball at 87. And a ground ball pitcher. Pitched against the Indians on the 8th and lost in a 4-3 game. Went 1/3 of an inning, 10 pitches, 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned. So Graves at 27 1/3 innings, 24 hits, 9 runs, 8 earned, 2 homers, has walked 6 and struck out 11. Leifer 1 for 3 with a single. White Sox need 2 to tie, 3 to win. And you hit him. That's not what you want to do, is hit the leadoff man. Brings up Alomar. Sandy is 0 for 3. He has grounded into a double play. So who can hit a righty? Josh Paul. So Paul at 299, 2 homers and 6 RBI. He is the tying run. Graves pitch. Ground ball to Casey. Sean will take it to the bag himself. 1 out. Leifer moves up to second. And they'll pinch hit for Creedy. 1 out. Tony Graffinino will come in to pinch hit. Tony has a pinch hitter, 250 with an RBI. Overall, 347. 2 homers and 12 RBI. So Leifer on second, Graffinino. The tying run, Clayton on deck. Graves winds and deals. Up to Sadler, who throws it over to Casey, and now we're down to Last Chance Saloon. So Leifer on third. Beautiful 70-degree night here in Chicago. Clayton is 2 for 3. Royce has singled twice and scored once. Graves trying to lock down his 18th save of the year. Delivers, and that's right back to Graves, third base side of the rubber, over to Casey, and the Reds win it. So that voodoo doll that Tribe Fan had worked. The Reds win this one 4-2 in 2 hours and 59 simulated minutes. 4 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Reds. They leave on 6. 2 runs, 7 hits and no errors, and the White Sox left on 7. So Rob Bell, his season done, goes 3-3, 5 2/3, 6 hits, 2 runs, both earned, a walk and 4 strikeouts on 87 pitches. Sullivan, Nickteen, and Graves do their job. 3 1/3 innings of 1-hit ball. Mark Burley, 8 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, all earned. The homer to Pokey Reese. He walked 6 and struck out 5. And the pride of Columbia, South Carolina is indeed your Digital Dice MVP. Pokey drove in the big runs. And the Reds get the win to get back to 30-33. So this rest of this interleague Wednesday, the 13th of June, Jeff Weaver 2 hits the Pirates 1-0. Weaver 5-5. Williams 1 I can't say 1-0. He took the loss. 1-1. Cleveland, Bartolo Colon strikes out 11. He's headed for the All-Star game. 5-0 over the Brewers. He's 8-1. Levereau 3-3. Jim Thome 3-4. His 15th of the year and drives in 2. Yep, Mark Burley doing his best Brad Penny impersonation. Toronto beats Atlanta 7-1. You're welcome, Bernie. Wow. Hamilton 2-7. Tommy Glavine 5-2. Carlos Delgado. Yeah, Cologne's just a flash in the pan. Delgado 2 for 2. It'll be Fred McGriff has a 15-game hitting streak. Tampa Downs Phillies 7-5. Phelps 2-1. Santiago 0-1. Bobby Abreu 3-4. 14th of the year and drives in 3. The Expos beat the Yankees 4-2. Wow! Hideki Arabu outduels Roger Clemens. Arabu 1-1. Clemens 4-6. Posada 3-4. His 9th of the year. Red Sox beat the Marlins 3-2. Hippolito Pichardo, there's a name for you, is 1-0. Alfonso Alfonseca is 3-5. Wilson, Mookie's kid, 2 for 3, a double and a stolen base. Brady Anderson slugs 2 homers, goes 3 for 4, now has 8 with 2 RBI. As the Orioles beat the Mets 7-2. Yep, Darth Vader goes down. Da 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 da. Sidney Ponson 5-2. Glendon Rush falls to 1-7. Twins beat the Astros 5-3. Eric Milton 3-9. Yeah, Brady's been lifting all right. Reynolds goes to 7-1. AJ Pierzynski 2 for 4 with 2 doubles. And if you follow the wrong directions on the channel, you could win a meal with AJ Pierzynski. Cardinals beat the Royals 4-1 in Kansas City. Matt Moore 7-2. Wilson 1-1. Edgar Renteria 2 for 4 with his 6th of the year. Chicago beats Arizona 4-3. Kyle Farnsworth 2-2. Prinz 1-3. Gordon gets his 11th save. The Giants beat the Angels 3-2. Russ Ortiz a 10-game winner. He's 10-3. Scott Schoenweiss next year, buddy. 1-8. Rob Dennis 16th save. Oakland all over San Diego 13-1. Barry Zito 6-2. Eaton 3-8. Terrence Long is 5th of the year, 3 for 6 with 4 RBI. And last but not least, the Dodgers beat the Rangers 7-6. Carrera 3-1. Kenny Rogers couldn't turn it around, 4-5. Palmeiro 2 for 4, his 10th of the year, and drives in 2. Opening day stream is going to be the Red Sox and the Braves. Arroyo and Greg Maddux. That's at noon tomorrow. And then the Friday game will be the Battle of New York. Mussina and Apier at Shea. So there you go. Glad you all enjoyed it. Red Sox and Braves. Tomorrow we'll have some Ernie Johnson stories about how much he hates the Red Sox, because that's all he ever talked about. And until then, I'm Ron Chuckett. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you the next time. So long, everybody.